started at 820 miles, I think is what was on the odometer. We're gonna get a little fine vittles in us this morning and some coffee, so let's go start the day off right.
Let's go. Do it.
All right, 16 cups of coffee. We'll stop at about 16 miles.
Feel it. Feel it.
So there's been several instances of this happening where the roads have been closed because of COVID-19 for some reason. All of the campgrounds or camping sites that we've passed on this road so far have been blocked off and shut down because camping transmits COVID-19, clearly. So
definitely, this road is a real problem.
This road is just chock full of COVID-19. You'd catch it. I'm a little bit nervous just waiting in front of this gate.
Yeah.
We should probably get out of here. But that's why it's good to have a GPS unit like so we can potentially find a way to navigate around this.
Head over to 280, come around down 280, and then we'll catch back up at Davidson River Campground and back up onto the same trail that we're trying to get through. Hopefully it's open up top there.
Yeah, the annoying thing is we're trying to avoid pavement. Because I much more enjoyed riding on the dirt roads and stuff, but sometimes we got to get on pavement to get to the next piece of dirt, and I guess that's what we're doing. I've got some really weird tire wear going on my front tire. Some of the knobbies are wearing out really fast and others are not really wearing at all. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but the tire's a little bit soft, which I kind of like when I'm riding on dirt roads and stuff because to absorb the impacts of big rocks and ruts and stuff. But it's riding weird. It's starting to affect how it's on the road. I can feel it going whoop, 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 and get like some up and down stuff going on. Maybe there's a flat spot forming in the tire, so maybe if I put a little bit of air in it, it'll will alleviate that issue a bit. We'll see. But this little pump is super, super handy. Gregory hooked me up with this little hookup that just goes right on the battery terminals. And so you can easily plug in, you can jump off the other bike or plug in your pump. And it's fantastic. Gregory's the most generous man that I know. By far. By far. I've tried to model my behavior after his. So I had to turn around and get a shot of this Mailbox. It's the coolest one I've ever seen in my life. What gauge do you think that is?
Ooh. That's a howitzer.
Yeah. I know. That was terrifying.
I was following you. I was hoping you were on the right line.
I can hardly see out of my goggles at all. My feet are soaked.
Huh?
Soaked are my feet. Completely. I got a puddle in my toe.
Oh.
I feel it sloshing around.
We need the next gas station. I'm gonna get some of that Rain-X. I literally was looking down at the thing. I couldn't see anything on them.
Rain, motorcycles, wet roads. What could go wrong?
I can't even begin to tell you how frustrated I am right now.
I get it. We're all right. You can't see. It's raining. We'll find it.
I don't even know where I didn't make the turn. I wasn't
That was fun. All right, how we doing? Check in.
awesome. My navigation skills with blind as a bat sight.
I tell you, next time I'm in charge of navigation, and you can just go along for the ride and not have to worry about it, because that is frustrating, I imagine. So anyway, look, I'm laughing at Gregory at his expense 100% as he gets frustrated navigating. Last night's funny. I had this really funny dream when I was laying in my hammock last night. I dreamed that Gregory was showing me this pack, this dry bag designed for motorcycle riding that you could strap on the back of your bike. It was this, dry bag that he claimed that you could fit a full week's worth of gear, everything that you needed in this bag, right? And he handed it over to me, and I was like, "Oh, it looks great." And he goes, "What do you think?" And I say, "It's awesome, man. I really like the bag." And I was looking at the cup holder, little water bottle holder on the side. And I said, the only thing I would do is I would change a little bit. I'd put a strap there, like maybe some sort of little bungee, some sort of little strap to keep the water bottle from falling out. And in the dream, it broke his heart because he said he'd been working on it for so long and he was just devastated.
Oh. The littlest things really get in my craw.
Yeah, that's right.
Make your own damn pack. Oh, when the itch is there, you gotta scratch it.
Just working some kinks out, right? Just working a few knots out.
Chiropractic, road style.
That's right. So when preparing for a trip like this, you're always trying to think ahead of what's going to happen. What do you need to be prepared for? We've got shelter, we brought food, we've got spare parts and tools and things to fix a mechanical breakdown. But a very likely scenario is that one of us lays down one of these bikes. I mean, especially me, because I'm not that great of a rider. So if I was to lay this thing down, I might need to tend to some injuries, or Gregory might need to tend to some of my injuries. And in order to do that, you need some sort of first aid kit. And I keep it right here on top at an easy access spot on my bike in my pack. And both of us, me and Gregory, know where this is, so we can access it depending on who might need it. And in this kit, it's pretty comprehensive. I mean, considering that we've got to minimize how much we're carrying, because we just don't have a lot of space and don't have a lot of room. Don't have a lot of room for heavy things. We've got to kind of cut it down to just a small pack like this. And in here, we've got basically, I mean, it's a first aid kit, but it's got a Mylar blanket if someone's going into shock because of a lot of pain and injury, something like that. Cover them up, keep them warm. Base chest seal, if some puncture wounds in the chest, God forbid something like that happens, but we've got that. And what is this, Gregory? You bad with
That's
this?
all
Medications?
meds, yeah.
Yeah, medication stuff.
So codeine, some prescription stuff for pain.
Yeah. So bad pain stuff. Yeah. If that goes down. We've got an Israeli bandage here for bad cuts, things like that. If we were to go down on a fence or something like that, could really mess you up. Basic boo-boo stuff, some gauze, band-aids, a few, what do you call them? Butterfly sutures. Small cuts like that might need to get stitched up later. A nasal airway. So if we need to open something up, we're having
ABC.
That's right. If we can't get an airway open, this can aid with that. And by the way, I've been trained in first aid. Used to be a certified lifeguard and all that kind of stuff. And I know Gregory's taught some of that as well. Wilderness kind of first aid and survival. So we've got some skills to back it up. It's not just a bunch of kit that we don't really know how to use. Irrigation syringe, cleaning out wounds. If you go down on an elbow or something, yeah, getting gravel out of wounds is definite a possibility. So this actually came with a Sawyer Mini filtration system to back flush the filter, but it works really, really good to irrigate wounds. Extra gauze, some more medications. I think that's ibuprofen and what's the one that gets rid of diarrhea?
Motrin? No,
it's pain. Anyway, something to help if you get some runs going on, because the runs on a motorcycle is real bad. While camping, it's bad, but on a motorcycle, it's really, really, really bad. More gauze, an extra lighter because I put them everywhere. Some medical tape. And then I've got some ointments here. This one's just an antibiotic, so to put in any cuts or scrapes that we might get, just to prevent infections. I'm not really a big believer in this kind of stuff. I typically just, lick my wounds and call it a day, but it wouldn't hurt to have it. And then some athlete's foot kind of stuff, because my feet have been soaked from my awesome boots.
These awesome boots.
My awesome boots. And if your feet stay wet for a long period of time, they get pretty nasty, get a little funkitative, and it's good to get rid of some fungus that might be growing on it. And then lastly, in here, I have just some chapstick that can be used for all sorts of things.
And where do you keep your tourniquet?
Shoot, my tourniquet is in this pouch right here, the small one. It was in my pocket, but I took it out early on. Tourniquet's right here in this back pouch. Good thinking. And that's just a rat tourniquet. I can use a rat tourniquet because it's just easy to use, and it works on even minuscule, scrawny little arms like my kids. It can shrink down to nothing and still gets the job done. And a lot of the other tourniquets don't work on kids. And then just some shears to cut clothes off, and riding gear and armor and stuff like that might be in the way to get to an injury. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, so staying hydrated is also a big deal. If you get dehydrated while riding, we're sweating a lot. It's pretty hot right now. I'm sweating. We've been riding, and riding off-road is kind of an active process, and you generate a little bit of body heat, and you've got all this gear on, you're sweating, and if you don't stay hydrated, muscle cramps and things like that can occur. And if that happens while you're riding a motorcycle, that's not ideal for obvious reasons. And then hygiene, like I was talking about before, just taking care of your feet, making sure I take my boots off, drying them out every night, make sure that I'm taking care of that. And then in addition to that, in this little beaver tail pouch that I've got here, I've got my other just basic toiletries for all that a man needs to stay relatively clean. I got some TP, a toothbrush, toothpaste, and some wet wipes. I can give my entire body a pretty good wipe down with just about three wet wipes, and I can feel pretty good. It's amazing how good it feels just to kind of wipe yourself down a little bit and get the grime and dirt off from the dusty roads and stuff. So,
take advantage of the...
Yeah, and we're also, every chance we get, we're taking a dip in the rivers when it's convenient. We hop in, take a bath, essentially, and get the dirt and grime off of our faces and bodies, and it feels pretty good. But that's pretty much it as far as first aid stuff. We are, how far further we have to go? We've gone 998 miles so far, and we've been riding this is day 5. So we've been riding for like 4.5 days, basically. We are going to try to push till the end. We're going to try to make it, go all the way home in this last day. We're going to be riding into the dark, but I think we're both feeling pretty good, and we're going to go for it.